Hi, I'm Hazel. It's Saturday today, which makes it time to sit down and catch up on the WoW news of the week, what I have been up to, and answer some of your questions. This week, Blizzard released a brand new piece of Prime gaming loot. You can currently, if you are a Twitch Prime member, get a Tabard of Brilliance. You can redeem this anytime before September the 28th. Looks like this is a former piece of TCG loot once again, and anybody with an Amazon Prime account can connect it to their Twitch Prime and then connect it to their Battle.net. I will link the article with details about exactly how to go about doing that. Otherwise, in Retail WoW, the news has been not very much. We have patch 10.17 coming out in a week and a bit here with September 5th, but aside from that, no real news forthcoming. I'm not expecting to see any big details about patch 10.2 until after 10.17 comes out. I'd expect to see raid testing start for the next raid tier relatively soon, but, one thing at a time. Instead, the hot thing of the week has been the release of official Classic Hardcore servers. This is a built-in permadeath mode for WoW Classic. There are 2 hardcore servers available. They are up now, and the race is off and away. If your character dies, you are done on that server. You can transfer it to a regular Classic server if you like, but you cannot continue your journey on that hardcore server if you die, which makes every victory just that much more delicious. I have been playing. I started a Gnome Warlock. I'm currently level 11. I am being a professional chicken and doing things that are very, very safe, but you never know when you're going to get into trouble, so I'm really curious to see how far I make it. And for today's video, in lack of other news, I want to talk about the add-ons that I'm using for my Classic Hardcore. The number one add-on that I'm having a lot of fun with is Deathlog. This is a specifically Classic Hardcore thing. What it does is it puts up an alert when somebody on the server dies. They don't have to be in your zone, they just have to be dead. And it's a little extra fun whenever it's a high level player because it's like, oh, that must have hurt. There's a rolling actual log window that you can use, as well as these pop-up alerts, and you can kind of customize what level you want the alerts to trigger at, whether or not you want there to be a sound. You can mouse over the character's entry in the death log to see things like last words, which is sometimes very funny. This is both very helpful for getting a feel for what sort of things tend to be dangerous, and also just very funny. Deathlog also shows you a ranking of how dangerous a given mob is. You can see how deadly they are to players on average compared to the rest of the mobs in the game when you mouse over them. There's also a heat map showing you where the deadliest places in a zone are, maybe places you should overlevel before you enter or use some extra caution. All of that is from the Deathlog add-on, but I will say that I needed to install Leatrix maps as well before the heat map would work for me. Other add-ons, Leatrix. Speaking of Leatrix, I have regular Leatrix just for options just like you would have in Retail WoW. Things like faster auto loot, cutscene skip, easier item destroy. It's just kind of a convenient thing to have running with some nice options, especially if you're trying to do like a solo hardcore journey. You can do things like blocking party invites. I'm also using Questy. You might be familiar with that if you've played Classic before. It shows where quest objectives are on your map, which Classic does not do by default. I also grabbed Bartender so that I could move my bars around to a setup that mimics my modern edit mode UI a little bit better, and then Auctionator just to make the auction house a tiny bit easier to use. One other add-on that I got put onto by a member of my Twitch chat is called What's Training, and this one shows me a list of spells that I will be able to train and when as a separate tab in your spell book. You could use this just in regular Classic, it doesn't have to be hardcore, but as somebody that has been out of Classic for a long time, that's kind of helpful for figuring out when I can look forward to certain spells. I am going to be streaming my Classic Hardcore journey on my Twitch channel until I die. Or I guess until I hit level 60, but I would be shocked if I make it that far. So tune in on Twitch if you want to see the adventures of Hazel, the Gnome Warlock, and her imp Zigmat. Voidwalker is still to come. I'm kind of scared of the Voidwalker quest. And then as soon as we die, we can go back to retail streams. I wonder if I'm going to die before the patch comes out on September the 5th. Only one way to find out. As far as what I've been up to this week, outside of Hardcore Classic, I still do not have my Evoker Legendary, but there's always next week. I'm not super enthused about it anymore because after I get it, I'm going to have to keep raiding to get the stuff to make it, and I've kind of gotten over. I had a great time in Avarice, but I'm kind of over it now. I don't really want to look at it anymore, but I probably should get the Legendary for next season, so there's that. There's also my puppy dog. Moose is doing good. He's getting bigger. He is learning some good manners and seeing all kinds of things. We've had to do a lot more indoor exercise in the last couple of days because we've had intermittent wildfire smoke here, so we've been doing an awful lot of push the furniture back and play fetch inside. And questions from this week, Rat Mother wants to know, has there been a Dragonflight meta achievement discovered yet, like a Veilstrider equivalent from Shadowlands? Not yet. If there is, which is an open question, they might not do one, but it was pretty popular in Shadowlands, so I would expect to see one added in the final patch of Dragonflight. If they do a new meta achievement like that, it's really kind of an open question as to which achievements that we have so far that might be included in that. Something like the Forbidden Reach meta achievement, it seems like an easy shoe-in, just like the new Zone meta achievements, same with the Zerlike Caverns meta. But something like the Researchers Under Fire meta achievement, that might be required, in which case people that are doing that now are getting ahead, or maybe it wouldn't be needed. It's basically a big guessing game that I am currently procrastinating on because other things seem like more fun right now. And Pansmat wants to know, what add-on/setting are you using to see the collected appearances in menus? These little check marks and X's and half check marks and yellow stars with a thing, those are all Can I Mog It. It is my favorite mod collecting add-on, bar none, save for probably all the things. It will mark on your bags whether or not you can learn a thing, perhaps in another armor type. It makes it really easy to look at a bag full of BOEs and figure out which things you need to equip and which things you need to mail to a different character and which things you've already learned and can safely vendor. It also adds to other menus like the Appearance Journal. It'll show you how many pieces you have collected out of a given set as you're tabbing through your sets tab. It is fantastic, and I feel itchy and uncomfortable whenever I'm not running it. I strongly recommend Can I Mog It. And that has been the week. Thank you very much for watching. Best of luck to anybody embarking on a classic hardcore journey, and if you're on the fence about it, I say definitely just go do it. What do you have to lose? You know, even if you die early, or if you die late, you get a story out of it, and then you can go back to your regularly scheduled programming. If you've got questions for a news video, please pop them in the comments and include the word question. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.